What's up, Upstanders? Dr. O here. Definitely want to say happy St. Patrick's Day to everybody. I have to say that for myself, St. Patrick's Day feels different for me this year. Now, of course, it's never a day that I've celebrated, but as many of you all know, I'm born and raised in Boston, Massachusetts. And so St. Patrick's Day was always a part of our community growing up, part of our city growing up. In terms of the green, the Shamrocks, all the stuff. Obviously, Boston Celtics. So there was always a big to do, and I never thought of it in any negative way. It's an opportunity for people who celebrate that to be recognized, just like with any other holiday in our society, and which I've always thought was a great thing. And this country has done more to add holidays and recognitions and the like. The reason why it feels a little bit different is not because of the people who are celebrating it. It's because of what this Trump administration is doing to erase the celebrations of other groups and communities. Now, we saw his fake whatever you want to call it, Black History Month celebration, which was more of a, hey, let me show that I got black people who are loyal to me, and I can even get Tiger Woods to come here as a black person, even though Kamala Harris isn't black. How'd that work for you, Trump? You brought the man's Copland Asian, and anyway, I can do a whole nother video on that. Question Kamala's blackness was ridiculous, but I see one thing that we saw come late January going into February is that all of these departments, Pentagon and all of these places, were not going to argue, but we're not going to honor Black History Month. Stores, uh, corporate groups not honoring it. A lot of schools, because of various quote unquote anti woke legislation, actually real legislation that exists, anti CRT legislation, weren't doing it. Stuff's getting pulled off the walls, and this is where we are now, right? I looked up on the White House website to see if there was any announcement of Holi, the Festival of Lights is practiced in India. And there was a statement, but no like video. The Bidens would always do a video for the different months that were going on. I'm looking up on the White House website right now, and I don't know. I'm just thinking about this, so I didn't look but beforehand. And I'm looking up presidential message on Ramadan. So I see that there is a message on Ramadan, which is a good thing. Like I said, the Bidens would always do video messages. I think it's good to have that, because I was like, okay, was the holy message there only because of JD Vance's wife? I don't know, right? But the fact of the matter is, first of all, there is no video. These don't look like any statements that they're not signed. This Ramadan, I offer my best wishes for a season of joyous reflection of God's endless grace and infinite love. May God bless you and your families during this wondrous season. I mean, people can go to a different conversation about God versus Allah and this Ramadan and so on and so forth. But again, but then I'm like, do these comments even mean anything when you're trying to ban Muslims at the same time? And what's this country going to do when Juneteenth comes around? Is it just going to be these little statements? When I looked at my governor, Wes Moore, give a statement on Holly, him and the lieutenant governor, were together, enthusiastic, making a great statement, something that was warm. And so when I think about St. Patrick's Day today, I just feel like there's this openness, an idea of just, and I don't expect the White House to be saying, to be clear, I'm just to be saying Allah in any way, shape, or form. Just to be clear, I don't see that happening. Okay, so I wasn't trying to say anything there. But there's just, I know when Columbus Day comes around, that's another day that's going to be celebrated. But there are active steps to erase non white history from the books and from celebrations. And none of these corporations and none of these schools are going to face any penalties for celebrating St. Patrick's Day, for celebrating Columbus Day. When the whole list of things that were put out that were no longer going to be recognized, no holidays honoring white people were on the list. And so that's a problem for me. And it leads many of us to feel some kind of way. We want, whether we're talking Juneteenth, what I haven't seen on the White House website is I haven't seen any recognition for Women's History Month. I literally just looked. I haven't seen anything there. When I type in Women's History Month, what I get is this. You're going to find this interesting. The first thing that came up, I didn't save it. It says on March 8th, we'll never tire of winning under President Trump. Like that's the first thing that comes up. So what does that mean? Like what is that about? So it's like, yo, so slowly, is Native American awareness, Hispanic heritage, like what's gonna happen as it relates to these things? And so I just feel like many people in this country, fought so hard to get recognition for who they are and what they are and what they believe, and slowly but surely, this White House is peeling all of that back while continuing to prop up things that are celebrated in white spaces, and that's just disrespectful. And it doesn't help to build a community where everybody can be celebrated and not tolerated. But that's not Trump's point. So, of course, that makes sense. And so, I sincerely want people to have the happiest St. Patrick's Day ever. I just want us to continue to build a community where other people can have their experiences continue to be honored and recognized, but it's going backwards. And it's going backwards in our community spaces, in our schools, in our corporate spaces. And it's really problematic and disrespectful for so many communities who fought in this country to make America what it is and what it still could be, because I'm not giving into what this man is trying to create. So I would love to know your thoughts. Hit me up. Let me know in the comments. Let me know your thoughts. Share with other people. Let's get this discussion going, because again, we can do better as a society, as a community, to build a space where everybody can be celebrated and not tolerated. Take care. Peace.